Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Build Paint Play. I'm Dave.
That's weird. Is that better?
That's much better. I didn't have to unmute. I was
yeah,
like,
no, that wasn't on you. That was on me. I must have hit the button. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Jake. We're going to be going over Dave's trip to PAX Unplugged this year. So, Dave, what do you got for us, man? What did you get into?
oh, look at you going straight into it. Wait.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
slow down, my friend. Cool. Great. First up, hello, Scott. Hello, Chris, Dave, Luis, Josh Sawyer is here as well. Jez is here. Malev is here. Dan Osborne.
Dave.
I mentioned Dave earlier, I'm sure.
I actually thought of Jez the other day. I was looking through. A buddy of mine sent me a link, and it's the link to the new 28? Yeah.
Yep.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Like, I still can't remember the opening scene from 28 Days Later." And I wanted to be like, our friend Jez worked on that, but I was like, I won't say anything.
Exactly, Jez. A bit of conversational foreplay is what we need. Excellent. And Gage is here. Gage Dacey. Hello, Gage. Welcome. So cool. And also, this is the bit I'm going to remember to say. Hey, don't forget to hit like.
Yeah, hit the bell, hit the thing for notifications, do all that stuff.
But yeah, definitely the like.
Hack the Gibson.
Yeah. And just says, yeah, it's a great trailer. It is a great trailer. I watched it again today. Super excited about it. So apparently next summer. It's gonna be
I don't know. I can't remember if I watched the second one.
the second trailer or the second movie.
So I watched 28 Days Later.
28 weeks later is the other one. Yep.
I don't know if I watched that one.
Oh, I watched that one. It was good.
Okay.
Yeah. It was very cool. Justin, we've got Malev, Dangerous Dan Osborne, and all the Daves. What a crew. Fantastic.
Jez, classic Warrior Lodge answer.
Yes, I can't
say.
Excellent. That's cool. It says it's kind of ignoring the second one.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, it's 28 years. It's a long time. Cool. How have you been? What have you been up to?
I'm good. We had some
that soon, but where have you been?
we had some friends come in from out of town. Some old friends of ours from back in the day basically came up to visit, so they're here, and it was supposed to be a really short trip, and they had some issues popped up, so we're like, yeah, you can stay with us. So they're crashing with us for a couple of days, and then I was supposed to go to Houston for that whole thing, which is why I wasn't going to go to PAX Unplugged, and then I don't want to say it fell through, but after like looking it over, like I explained this to Dave, I was invited to a special event, and got like this like really limited exclusive kind of offer to go to this thing, and it seemed great. And then the more I looked into it, I was like, this does not really seem like it's something that's good for a store. So I like called them, and they reached out. They were really nice, and they explained the whole thing, and I was like, just so we're clear, I'm gonna fly to Houston for an event that is effectively an hour and a half to 2 hours long. And they were like, yep. And I was like, on a Sunday, and they were like, yep. And I was like, the same weekend as PAX Unplugged. And they were like, yep. And I was like, I think I'm going to pass.
Yeah.
So at that point, it was like, this is like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, whatever. I'll just take it easy, regroup. You and I have a bunch of shows next year. I was like, I don't need to be at PAX Unplugged. Ben went out there, and I was like, hey, if there's anything awesome, grab it, talk to whoever we need to talk to. But you know, it's all good. We don't both need to be there. So
yeah. No, that's fair. But you also painted some stuff. We'll get some photos a little bit later.
Yeah, knock those guys out. Super fun models. I gotta message Ronnie. I've had a bunch of people asking questions, and I was like, we could probably like kitchen sink that, or like, you know, house rule that, but I don't know if there's a way to do that. So anybody who hasn't played Halo, it runs on the Dead Zone rules. Basically, it's like they're tweaked a little bit, like all the Spartan specific stuff, like energy shields and energy shield depleting weapons and stuff like that. That's new, but otherwise it's Dead Zone basically. So Ben was like, I'm not a huge Halo guy, but like Dead Zone is a really cool rule set. I play my army against your Spartans, and I was like, I don't think so, because the Spartans are gross. They all have energy shields, and they're really, really tough to deal with.
Right.
I was like, maybe there's a way that we can give you some extra guys or something, or I don't know. But
sorry, I just realized this will probably help our sound. There we go.
There's a little bit of like in the background. I thought it was me, but
yeah, no, we should be good. We should be good now.
But yeah. So, anyways, that's what I've been up to.
Cool thing.
How about you, Dave? What have you been doing?
I was doing a lot of preparing for PAX Unplugged last week since the last show. Get some laundry done and all that sort of fun stuff. So I took along with me my trusty exemplar wet palette, a box packed with paints.
Nice.
And I still couldn't fit in all the paints I wanted to take, but I took that. I took a this Horus Heresy box with one that bust that I've shown before.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, that Hobbit too.
Yeah. So the other one was the Hobbit. So this is what I sort of painted on most of the weekend while I was there. So that was a lot of fun.
As a quick reminder, and Scott, thank you. A huge thank you again to the Army Painter for sponsoring us.
I haven't got that yet.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Because Dave did just show a big box full of Army Painter paint.
I did. This is true. But yeah, so I was painting this guy.
Good. I like his ghostly dead eyes.
Yeah. I still haven't chosen the worked out exactly the color I'm going to go for with those. But there was a suggestion I should just leave them blank, maybe give them a little bit of a greenish glow. Have some blood sort of dripping down. Sure. Undead Hobbit. I mean, he has had his legs and his arms torn off, so this is true. Yeah, it's just the upper torso remaining. You can just use a bunch of like the dirty down like blood gore, just like have it all like streaming off of him. That'd be crazy. Ooh, I could try that. Yeah. Fantastic. Nice. But yeah, so I worked on that at the show. That was the main thing. It was kind of tough. There were a couple of times where I got in a little bit early and spent like 15 minutes, 30 minutes working on it before the crowds came in. But
I will say the Guardian that I painted,
yeah,
the superhero Guardian. When I did him at the Comic-Con up in New Hampshire, the only way I got him done is I was like, in my head, I was like, I'm gonna do this color, and then I did that color, and then like customers came up or people came up to do lessons, so I put it down, and then I like got them everybody sorted, and then once everybody was rolling and there was nobody around, like I didn't see any customers coming, I was like, I'm gonna do this next color. So I literally got to do like one color or like one section at a time, and it worked pretty well because in like I probably did it over the course of like 2.5-3 hours, but it was really like maybe 20 minutes of me painting.
Right.
And I was like, if I do it like that, it's easier for me to go, okay, I'll be able to get this done.
Yeah.
But that's also why I try to paint really simple stuff when I'm out at shows, because it's like I'm gonna get distracted. Or like the paint's gonna dry, and then I have to like remake, like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm gonna do something that I can get to and then be able to be like, I'm gonna put this down and do whatever, and then come back to this kind of thing.
Yeah, and go from there. But yeah, this one was a bit more involved. But yeah. In the end, it worked out fine. I think folks were in sort of enjoying seeing something a little bit different. But anyway, we'll get to that in the coverage. Excellent. I
also wore this in honor of Nico's last show. He played in Brazil like 2 nights ago. He's the drummer.
Okay.
He's finally retiring. The band isn't stopping, but he's not gonna tour anymore. So
okay, radio.
I was like,
have they selected a new drummer? Have they selected a new?
I don't know. I like if they haven't talked about it, because again, nobody really knew that this was happening. He just announced that this was going to be his last show. So
okay, right. I was wondering if they're going to do like a pit fight. Or...
Who knows? I don't know. Maybe it might be. My guess would be it's probably someone that he knows or someone that the band knows.
Right. Yeah. I wonder if. There we go. Woo! Look at that. I did it without talking.
Nice.
Talking my way through it. It was tough, I tell you.
It was in your head. You were like, okay.
It was all in my head. But yeah. Nice. So yes, here we go. We haven't just blown by the sponsor mention.
Very nice.
Yes, we have the Army Painter. Thank you very much, Army Painter. We're super excited to continue to be sponsored by you guys. So we've lined up the Army Painter are going to be our season sponsor next season as well, season 6, which is super cool. I think January 10. Check the calendar. Sorry for a second. Just gonna check this for a second.
These are great. I mean, you can see that with if you Zenithal prime your models with blacks and grays and whites, and then you do speed paints as your base coats, and then do like layering with Fanatic, you can get stuff done so fast and it looks so good.
Yep, absolutely. January 14th. January 14th is going to be episode 1 of season 6.
Okay.
And we're going to have Adam Abramovich on. Adam's the tactical marketing executive, I think. That might be the title. But Adam's going to be on talking about a certain Mr. JB.
I'm so stoked.
And we're going to learn a lot more about the paints they've been working on with Mr. Blanche, which will be super cool. Sorry, Scott says, talking about Iron Maiden, they have a new drummer, they haven't announced it.
He said they just announced it's Scott Dawson.
It says Simon Dawson.
Simon Dawson. I think Simon Dawson played with.
He was in that TV show, Dawson's Creek.
No, it's a different guy.
Oh, okay, my bad. Anyway. I don't know my metal dudes, but yeah, as you said, but if you Zenithal priming, sort of heavy dry brush with white and that kind of thing, you can get some really, really slick looking paint jobs. And Tyler's done an awesome job on these guys. Very nice. So head to their blog, check that out. There's a link to the Army Painter website below. Additionally, if you are not within range of an FLGS where you can pick up Army Painter paints, there is a link down there. It's an affiliate link, which I think gets you 5% off any orders from the Army Painter website. So super cool. Next up, just a reminder, time's running out before Christmas. Make sure you get your friends and loved ones a Build Paint Play hoodie. Jake?
For sure, I definitely do that. Sorry, I was looking up the drummer. He played in a band called British Lion, which is one of Steve Harris's other projects.
All right. Okay.
I was like, who is this guy? Yeah, the hoodies are up. I still have the $10 $10 off thing for the holidays.
Cool.
As long as people pre-order them in the next as long as people pre-order them by this coming weekend, like the 14th, 15th.
Yep.
Theoretically, if I get them out on Monday, the 16th or the 17th, you should get it in time for Christmas.
Right.
If it's after that, I'll try, I'll get them out, but at that point I can't guarantee you'll get them for the holidays.
Sure. Cool thing. There's no Patrick Milano has joined us. It says evening. And Cal Bononi has joined us as well. Fantastic. Luis also says, don't forget Secret Level. So I think that dropped today on Amazon.
Yep.
And episode 5, I think, is the 140,000 episode.
Did you see the picture that Henry Cavill posted of him outside the little shop, his store in his hometown?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. And then Patrick Keith from Bombshell, did you see that Cav reposted his post about him painting his Howling Banshees?
Yep.
I was like, that's pretty cool.
It's all good. A lot of good folks out there sharing stuff around, which is nice. Definitely cool. What do we got? Jez says he's been doing a load of Mantic Rat Dudes using that technique. So definitely cool. And Patrick is testing a scheme for upcoming Emperor's Children army using the Fanatic range. It's been a joy.
Pat, are you doing Emperor's Children for Horus Heresy, or is this a test scheme for the new Emperor's Children stuff that's coming out for 40K?
Which is it?
Or are you just painting 40K Chaos Marines as Emperor's Children, which is also an option?
Yep. Which is super cool because they're all the pinks and purples anyway, or in the Fanatic range are awesome. Lovely.
Yeah, that pixie, what is it? Poison pixie and that poisonous plum, that whole range of fuchsia, purple, magenta, that whole color palette is gorgeous.
Wicked pink.
Wicked pink. Yeah, and then there's I think it's poison. Is it poisonous plum?
I don't know, possibly. I've been using mulberry quite a bit.
Yeah, that whole band is really cool.
Mage Cast Magenta and Alien Purple are pretty cool too.
Yep.
Anyway. Nice.
Yes, make it happen. Pull some strings. Be like, look, I don't know if you know who I am, but I'm kind of a big deal. Be like, maybe you guys should hire me for your small little project.
That would be great. Definitely. Patrick says 40K, but he wants a 30K look.
Nice.
We got some more of those buckles. Excellent. Scott says, my glorious nation's postal service is on strike, just in time for me to not get my awesome haul from Mindwork Games. Boo!
I mean, it might be a quick strike. They might be done by Monday. You might get it. Who knows?
Yep. You just have to. You'll have to talk to them, Scott. Let them know they need to get back to work. But fantastic. Okay. We mentioned that Jake had painted some stuff.
Yeah, it's a terrible photo, but
it is. There was another one you took as well, but that one was worse.
Yeah. So I was trying to take a shot with my camera. And as you can see by this photo, my camera keeps focusing on the Spartan in the background on the Halo Flashpoint poster.
So this is on your phone?
Yep.
So when you've got it all lined up, just tap on the thing that you want it to focus on.
I did, and what would happen is as soon as I did that, it would focus real quick, and then it would focus back on the Halo Flashpoint guy. So
the second thing you need to do then is buy an iPhone, and then
nope, I'm not buying anything Apple. I'm good.
And it'll stay on.
Nope, I'm good. So I took this just to kind of show everything. All the terrain in the background is super cool. It's all thick cardstock. It's almost like cardboard. It's not quite as thick. But the stuff is great. You want it to be a really dense, like table, like a dense environment in terms of like terrain and obstacles and buildings and stuff. It's really fun. And then I took pictures. If there's another picture, we can get rid of this. Like there's
hang on a second.
They're super fuzzy.
They are. I've got just tapping your
Yeah,
response.
Hank, you're 100% right. I kept trying to switch my phone off of portrait onto landscape, and every time I tried to do that, it wanted me to like do like a transition photo. And I was like, it's my own fault. I was trying to like get out of the store. I was like, I got like 2 minutes, and I was trying to take a photo, and it just kept not working. Well, geez, hopefully this resolves. They look better on my. That's better. Okay. So this, I did them as the blue versus red, or red versus blue from the Rooster Teeth cartoon. So you've got Caboose, Tucker, Church, and Tex. These were all done using just Army Painter paints. Or I shouldn't say that actually. The Spartans themselves are just done using speed paints. I did. I zenithalled them. I basically sprayed them all like a gray, and then I dusted them all with white, and then hit them all with blue. The teal is good. Church is actually a mix. I mixed black and green with the normal blue that Caboose is. The guy on the left is literally out of the bottle. It's right. The whatever that is. It's the Beowulf blue, I think, or something.
Okay.
So that's like literally out of the bottle. Tucker is the whatever the teal is called. I can't remember. Prismatic Bolt, I think.
Right.
And then Church is the blue on the left with a little bit of green and a little bit of black, just to make him that nice like darker, almost navy color. Yep. And then the green on the right, I took a little bit of the turquoise and mixed it with the blue, and then added a touch of black at a different ratio, because she's supposed to be like in the comic, she's like black, almost green, almost black. So I just wanted her to look really dark without losing all the detail.
Yeah.
These models have so much little detail like printed onto them, like all their shoulder pads and their armor and stuff, that the speed paint does wonders. It just sticks to it. It just looks awesome. Once they were done, I painted the undersuit with the black speed paint. Okay. So like the rubber, same thing on the red team, the rubber undersuit. And once they were all done, I went back and used the Turbo Dork. I think I used Afterburner for all their lenses.
Right. Okay.
So,
from
Turbo Dork. Yeah, that's all Afterburner.
Cool.
And then I used a bunch of like the Army Painter tufts and put them all over the base. I used some of the I think I had some leftover like GW texture paint or something, and I basically slapped that on the base, and like it's the Agrellan Earth, I think, and I just kind of moved that around, and then used a tan that's almost the same color. I think that's an Army Painter color, and I just painted around the rims and matched it up to blend it, and then left the names showing so people can see them all. But they're super fun to paint. The detail on them is really, really good.
So excellent.
Yeah, they were fun. But yeah, so, and the game itself is a blast. I've been running demos like all week. I did a bunch on Saturday. We had a big demo event. I said, anybody that comes and plays in the event, you'll get 10% off the starter set. And if anyone has played Dead Zone, it is very similar. The shield mechanics and the Halo mechanic, the stuff that is Halo specific is like added on, but it's essentially Dead Zone. It's alternating activations. Like these guys are standing on like the card. So the card only has 6 stats. You've got speed. So there's one number, which is what your short movement is. And there's another number, which is your full, like if you decide to dash instead of like doing a normal move. You've got range attack. You've got fight, which is close combat. You've got a survive roll. You've got your armor rating, and you've got your hit points. And that's basically it. And then the 2 little blue tokens that are behind the red guy in the middle, those are shield tokens. So you have 2 shields, and you can remove those as you take hits.
Right.
And then down the bottom there, this is what each one of them is armed with. They all have that close combat knife, and then they all have a different ranged weapon. So the stat we're looking at here is the guy on the left, the red guy.
Right.
So he is armed with the Bulldog. It has a range of 2. Its AP is 2. It has knockback and it has lethal. So again, the keywords are all indicative of like what the weapon does. But the game is a blast. Like they did such a good job with the demo set itself. So where they're standing, like the mat they're on is a it folds out. It's like I think it's like 20 or it's like 20 by 20, I think.
Okay.
And on one side, there's just a battle mat, so you can actually play the game, and it's designed to be a 4-on-4. Like it's a 4-on-4 fire team game.
Right.
And then you flip it over onto this side, and this side is great because all around the perimeter are all the rules are printed.
Right.
For everything. So it's like shooting, all their stat cards, like what keywords mean, like what the different weapons do, what actions you have available. And then in the middle, there's a small, I don't know, like 14 by, or it's probably 16 by 16 area that is a mini battle mat, and you set up all the terrain on it. And it's so you can get stuck in right away and start shooting on turn one. And it's just so you can teach people how to play. And it's designed so that you end up with one of each Spartan, because each of the 4 guys has different abilities.
Right.
And if you and I were playing, you'd get these 4, I get the other 4. Our teams are mirrored.
Right.
But in the demo, it's like you get the 2 guys on the left, the guy with the shotgun and the yellow guy with the sniper rifle. And then I would get like the tactician, who's the guy that's pointing, and then the Zaveda, in this case Donut, who has a commando rifle. And each one of them works differently. And it's so you can just, again, it's just to learn the rules. It's just so you understand how everything works. And then you flip it over and you play a game. It's really cool. It's very, very clever. It's very well put together. Like Ronnie and his team did an awesome job. So
cool thing. Alex is joining us. Hi, Alex. Says, I don't think Donut's armor is lightish red enough.
Yeah, it's super bright magenta. Like it didn't come out in this picture, but it's like bright pink. Yeah, in Red versus Blue, they're always giving Donut crap because he's on the red team and he's wearing pink, and he's like, no, I'm wearing, it's light red.
Right. Excellent. Cool. We got to hang out with Alex from Resnova Games at the show, which was great. Did you see the new giant monster and the vehicle and all the new stuff? It looks great. I did. It does look really good. But I didn't take any photos. I should have taken photos. Sorry, Alex. But no, it was definitely cool to catch up. Josh says, is that a store demo kit specifically, or is it just from the starter box?
So this is our store demo kit. So it's basically just a box that's printed demo kit, and it came with like a bunch of extra tokens and stuff. But to the best of my knowledge, this is essentially just the Recon edition. So I believe it has everything that's the same. So you should be able to just flip everything over and play. But again, everything
in the start. So if I was to walk into a store, buy a starter set, would this playmat be in it?
I believe so. Yes, the Recon edition, because I'm assuming they didn't go through the hassle of printing extra mats.
Right.
Like that seems not cost effective. Like you would just print the one mat. So as part of the demo kit, we got extra pieces and like things we could give out. But the Recon, this is the Recon edition. The Recon edition retails for like, it's $75. You get 8 Spartans. They're printed in red plastic and blue plastic. So if you're giving it to somebody who maybe doesn't paint or hasn't painted and wants to play it out of the box, you can play right out of the box. Like it's super obvious, like which guys are which. The Spartan edition is $125, so it's $50 more. You get 8 more Spartans, all with different weapons. So you have 8. Now you would have 8 different models times 2,
yep.
And then you get 4 of the elites, which are like the aliens, and I believe they're part of the. It's after Halo Infinite, so they're the banished, I think. So you're not fighting the Covenant again. This doesn't mean anything to Dave, but anybody who's a Halo fan. But yeah, so you get like four aliens, so you can run missions against the aliens, and they have a whole bunch of different stuff that they can do. And then there's one box that's just terrain. It's like the ultimate terrain box. It's a ton of buildings and little bunkers and like objective things and towers. Like it's really cool. The cardstock terrain is really nice. Everything goes together super fast. I mean, this literally to set up the whole board, this took me, I don't know, 15 minutes. Like right. Taking everything out of the box, building it, putting it together, punching out all the tokens. It's a really cool game. They just started teasing all the Wave 2 stuff. So there's going to be I believe it's Army Painter. There is a paint set that comes with Master Chief.
Okay.
He has the energy sword, and then there's going to be two new squads of Spartans with different weapons. There's a box that's the 4 new guys that come in the Spartan edition. So if you bought the Recon edition and you wanted to add them, you can buy them separately.
Right.
And then there's a box of the alien, the banished or whatever, or the Forsaken or whatever the heck they're called. But yeah, it's really good, and price point, like the price point on it is bonkers. So
Cool. Neat. Well, there you go. I didn't know that this is going to be a Halo edition.
yeah, it really wasn't going to be, but it's like I said, the last week and a half, last 2 weeks, I've been running demos and playing it, and it's fun. I like it.
That's cool. That's cool. Excellent. Next up, should we jump in? Should we talk about?
Tell us about your Hobbit.
My Hobbit. Cool. So yeah. This weekend, just gone, I went to PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia. Caught the train up on the Friday afternoon, evening, got there. Spent the rest of the weekend with the guys at the Game Envy booth. So we've had Kit on the show before. It was Kit, Derek, and Cliff in the booth. And I got to sit down under a lucent light and paint this Hobbit. And this was a fairly early shot. And I was like, oh, I probably should take a photo and post it and tell people if they're at the show, come and see me at the booth. But this is where I was just messing around with the with different tones on the face or different hues. So I've got some greens under the chin and reds on the sort of cheeks and around the nose and the eyes. Starting to push some yellows in at the top there. But it was very different painting this face to painting the face on the other bust. So the other bust was a little bit smaller and much more lined. This one is a lot smoother, so and larger. So it was a lot of fun to go back and forth and try and get some decent looking color on the skin. But yeah, it's good. Of course, I went and said hey to Kat and Caleb, who were at the Army Painter booth. They did sell out of everything.
Really?
Yep. So I'm not sure if Kat got in touch with you. Obviously, Kat hasn't got in touch with you yet. But she was driving everything back to Fort Wayne, I think. But yeah, so all of the paint sets for this year are all sold out.
That's good. That is good news. I like that.
Yep, absolutely. Caleb spent a lot of time teaching folks at the booth. He also ran a couple of classes, I think, after hours. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, it was really nice to catch up with them again. I went out to dinner with Kat and Caleb on Saturday night. Good. There's another shot of folks gathered around listening to Caleb talk about painting. It was pretty neat.
I really wish they carpeted this venue.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, it's one of the only big venues that we go to that they don't. Like they carpet Gen Con, they carpet, Adepticon, you know what I mean? Like this is one of the only venues we do. Oh no, they don't do Adepticon. I'm used to being in a lot of the rooms that are carpeted, but like, but Gen Con is massive. If you can carpet Gen Con, you could carpet this.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the view from the back of the Army Painter booth looking out, which is super cool. This is the Game Envy booth. So it was about the same size booth that they had last year, but rather than being sort of up in the back corner facing the wall, it was basically towards the center of one of the main thoroughfares that sort of ran across this direction. So it was. I see
a bunch of the art of, and I see.
Yep.
I see you and Jeff Hall's book. I see Mel's book there.
Yep. So it was nice. I got to sit here using the light, using the wet palette, painting with the brushes, talking to people about painting miniatures, and quite a few people were like, "Oh, do you work with these guys, or do you work for Game Envy, or is this your booth?" And I'm like, "No, they're just friends, and I'm the publisher of these books." And it was a great introduction for people to then sort of be able to stop and have a look at the art of books and that kind of thing. Spoke to a couple of retailers as well who were like, "Oh, I haven't seen these books before. Can I buy them through Game Envy?" And I was like, "Oh, let me have a chat. I'll have a chat with Kit and we'll work something out." So, but yeah, great, a couple of great business conversations there.
Nice.
But one of the cool things as well sitting down there was that I spoke to probably, I don't know, 30 or 40 people who had just finished at the Paint and Take, the GW Paint and Take. So I got to check out their minis, talk to them about how they're doing. That was basically almost everybody that I spoke to. It was their first miniature they'd ever painted. They're excited about doing some more. So we chatted about different things they could do, paints they could check out, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah, anybody who's looking for your stuff, if they're a retailer, they can get it through Alliance. Well, sort of. They can get Terrain Essentials, Tremendous Tome of Epic Dungeons, and The Art of Bjarni Dali. Everything else is available in a random handful of warehouses, and at least 5 of the books are out of stock.
Oh, across all of Alliance?
Yeah.
So
Volume 1 is only in the Southwest. Volume 2 is sold out on all 4. Volume 3 is sold out on all 4.
Go into that, Jake. We don't have to go into the details.
Ridiculous.
I recommend if you're in the US, pick them up at the moment through Game Envy website or Ironheart Artisans. If you're in the UK or actually anywhere in the rest of the world, pick them up through Warlord Games.
Just email Dave.
Yeah, email me and I will do those things again. But yeah, so hopefully in the future we'll have a better source for the books. But yeah, just as every opportunity is a business opportunity and all
That's
that.
right. If you really want it enough, it is.
Yeah, exactly. Cal suggests that the reason it isn't carpeted is that it's easier to hose out the hole afterwards. Yeah. Thankfully, there wasn't a lot of hosing needed this time around. But anyway, yeah, so definitely cool to be hanging out with the game and the guys and some painting done. Okay, I entered a couple of pieces in the painting competition, which was cool. One of them was my Witch Hunter diorama.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So this one here. Loads of other cool entries. These are all in the advanced category.
Look at that little girl up against the glass. Get him hooked young.
She was super excited. She was really excited to see all those things up close. That was great. It was really exciting to see. Obviously, probably a bit too young still.
She's about this. She's about the size of a Warlord Titan.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. But no, she was super excited. So excellent. Sorry, Scott says, when it comes to the art of series, I prefer to message Dave at odd hours, make demands to solve problems that in fact were already solved. I know my rights. But yeah, loads of great entries there. I know I entered at about noon on Saturday, and at that point they'd already capped out their beginner hero category. So they
okay. Yeah, there's some cool stuff in there. I see the that like Rogel Dorn tank on the diorama. That's kind of neat.
Yep.
And
there are a few other neat ones. This let me see what else I've got. So yeah, there's that Rogel Dorn.
That's nice.
This cool little tent bazaar kind of diorama was neat.
Right on.
This one here, I think this one went on to win. Was the winner in the category, the diorama category for advanced. I had to take a photo of this one. This is Sean Gleason's.
Oh yeah. I was like, that looks really familiar. What?
Yep. Yeah, this is Sean. So we had this. We showed this on the show a couple of weeks ago. So, but yeah, it was nice to see it in person.
Nice.
Very cool. There was some really high-end painting as well on display. So these
people love busts.
Yep, they're fantastic. These pieces they looked awesome.
I saw a warhound in the wide shot. There's a big warhound titan in the corner.
Whereabouts? Back there?
Yeah, right opposite the little girl.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's a big warhound in the back there.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to take a photo of that because she was in the way.
I see the snow speeder. I see a little rebel snow speeder there.
Yep,
that's pretty cool.
Those are cool things there. And yep, so they had absolutely loads and loads and loads of entries. The hall was packed pretty much all day. This is looking back from the painting competition back towards the vendor hall.
Yeah, I mean, I recognize a lot of the banners. I see Restoration Games. I see Ravensburger.
Yep.
I see Catalyst. I see Leader Games off in the distance there.
Yeah.
Looks like Japanime Games in the back.
Yeah.
Creature Caster.
A whole bunch of stuff.
Dice Throne. That's Roxley Games. Yeah, I'm assuming they had a huge like Asmodee section. It was probably like Fantasy Flight, Atomic Mass, all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely huge for in the vendor hall area, and a huge section for gaming, particularly for like Shatterpoint and Legion and MCP.
Nice.
So that was cool. So this was NPC Creations. Charles here. See Charles. He contributed a bunch of images for the Tremendous Tome of Epic Dungeons. So here he is chatting with Jeff Hall, a friend that we've had on the show before, and Jeff's friends David, who also works part-time at games and stuff.
Nice.
That was cool.
Yeah, Jeff messaged me. He was like, "We should go out to lunch," and I was like, "I would, but I'm not going to be there." He's like, oh, "Okay."
But yeah, it was definitely cool. Excellent. Looking at Josh Sawyer says probably Dan's. Ooh, I don't know what you mean by that one. I probably missed the opportunity to work it out. Alan's here, says made it. So much to wrap up week of work with fall holidays, the busiest weeks of the year. Dave Hummel says project con attendance planning in process for 2026. Nice.
Awesome.
Convention, Dave. Just asked, what's the ratio for minis to board games? Minis to board games at PAX is probably, let's say across, so if you talk board games, let's talk board games, role-playing games, card games, miniature games.
Yeah.
Probably looking 35% board games.
That's down. It's usually more like 60% board games.
I haven't finished yet. I was going to say 35% board games, 35% role-playing, 20% cards, and 10% miniatures.
That's still way different. Like it used to be like the first year was probably like 80% board games, and then like 20% everything else.
I was going to say
most of that. Yeah, I would say most of that was role playing.
Yeah.
Over the last, because when I was there last year I would say probably 60% board games still, and then because there's a lot of companies that do both, but it was still mostly board games, and then maybe 20% role playing games, maybe 30% role playing games. But that's really good. I'm glad that they're getting more miniatures in. I think they're really trying to.
Yeah.
I mean, Asmodee has always had their thumb on the scale because they make everything, and they were like, well, we're going to bring our booth, which means we're bringing board games and role-playing games and miniature games and card games, and you know what I mean? So they bring everything. So
yeah, definitely. So yeah, it's something like that, Josh. That's my impression. Somebody else's impression might be a little bit different. But Patrick says, do you see an uptick in people attending or becoming involved with painting booths like the Army Painter at shows, with Games Workshop attempting to go more mainstream with video games and shows? I don't know that we're seeing that just yet, or it's difficult. Probably difficult to gauge. Games Workshop definitely they run that huge paint and take. People were waiting. Like some of the folks that I spoke to waited in line for like an hour to get into the paint and take. I think I know that certainly Game Envy and the Army Painter, we were sending people back and forth between our booths, which is great. So if people who are looking for paintbrushes or painting accessories, the Army Painter would send them to us. People who are looking for paints would send them over to the Army Painter or to Turbo Dork. but I don't think there wasn't a lot of conversation about where people had sort of found out about miniatures. So yeah, I can't quite speak to that just yet, Patrick.
There's a really weird dynamic to getting into miniatures now. So like we've talked about this before, like my first experience with miniatures was as a role player. So we played Dungeons and Dragons. We used to buy metal D&D pieces.
Yep.
And that's how a lot of us kind of got into the idea of painting minis. And then, you know, like I've told you before, in my experience, I was at a D&D convention and there was a little small booth selling Warhammer stuff that I had never seen before. But my brain went, oh, they're miniatures. But I also like building model kits. And I was like, this is both. But it was at the end of the day, like, yeah, you build them, but then it's just more miniatures to paint. But that was kind of the only way really in to that kind of thing. Either you started with mini wargaming or you started with miniatures for D&D, and that was it. Now you've got board games that come with beautiful models, and you've got, you know, if you're a role player, you still have that same outlet. Like there's tons of wargaming. Wargaming is a lot more well known. You've also got all like the kind of in between stuff, like what is it, Warhammer Underworlds, which is technically a card game and a board game that has miniatures, but they're GW models, so you can paint them. Like there's a whole bunch of ways now to kind of get into miniature painting. So
there was a guy I was chatting to about miniature painting who had a couple of board games that he really wanted to paint the minis for. He said they just had a newborn baby in the house and didn't have any time, and was like, do you know of any painting services? And I was like, not as general services. I know a few independent like commission painters and that sort of thing, but there was a lady like standing right next to him who was like, I'm a retired lawyer. I've been thinking about doing some commission painting, so maybe we can exchange information and talk
perfect. That's what we do here at BuildPaintPlay. Just
Yep.
bring people together. That's what we do.
And but it was great. I had a look at. She showed me some things that she painted, and she painted up a whole bunch of the birds from Wingspan.
Oh, okay.
The little bird models.
Yeah.
To match the cards, the images on the cards, and it was like, these look fantastic. These are way better than I thought they were going to be. Yeah. She said, yeah, it was a little bit tough because it's all the same shaped bird, but yeah, they've done a wonderful job. So yeah, they talked and they exchanged information, and hopefully they're going to get some.
I mean, that's like all the stuff that Jeff Smith's been working on, like that Shadows of Brimstone. That's basically a board game. It's like a miniature heavy board game. Yeah. So,
Alex says there's a really good representation from indie RPG developers, and that feels like it's growing. Yeah, there would have been, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 indie RPG booths, maybe more. Alex could correct me, but yeah, there were a lot of strong. Actually, yeah, it would have been more. Let's say 30, but yeah, a lot of great indie stuff going on there.
They're starting to expand and try to do more like just sheer gaming stuff too, and like art and like adjacent stuff. Because like Alan was there. Alan Panicle.
Yeah, I didn't see Alan at all.
He was at the oh God, what's Matt Fantastic's booth? He was at the.
I can't remember.
I can't think of the name of the booth, but like, so Matt was there, and Matt had like 2 or 3 other people that were there with him helping out. So Alan was part of that. So he was in there. The oh God, it's something creative.
Anyway,
like but yeah, so he was there. He just didn't have his own booth. But next year he's going to try to. He talked to that guy Chris, who actually runs all the PAXs. Okay. So hopefully he'll be able to get a booth for next year on his own.
Excellent. Hank also says we sent some terrain out to PAX Unplugged. So
that was nice of you.
Was that some of the Marvel Crisis Protocol terrain, Hank? I think I might have recognized some of it on the tables. Or was it some of the Legion?
I'm assuming it was one of the Atomic Mass games. I'm assuming it was either, either Legion or Crisis Protocol or...
Yeah. But yep, there we go. Restoration Games.
Nice.
Had a big booth.
Yeah, we have all this stuff. We have Return to Dark Tower, and we've had Thunder Road, and now after we had Chris on, like their new Thunder Road RPG.
Yep.
Crossbows and catapults. That takes me back.
Yep, definitely cool there. It was fun to wander around and be assaulted by huge graphics. Ravensburger, there on the left.
Nice. Yeah, I'm assuming they had a huge Lorcana tournament.
Yeah, I think they had. They also had another wave of Lorcana release.
Okay.
I think as well. So
yeah, I forget the name of it. That one drops. I think that one's supposed to come out like next week or the following week.
right. Yeah, but huge lines in the morning, which is pretty crazy. That was one thing that I wasn't hugely fussed on for PAX. Each year that I've been to PAX, there's been a different process and a different door into the convention center that you have to go through. So
okay.
They never make it easy. It's never like, oh, this is where I went in last year. You walk in and it's like, oh, no. You have to walk a half a mile around the convention center to get to the entrance.
Even as you had a vendor badge?
Yeah. On the Saturday morning, all the doors to that original one that I got in on Friday were locked.
Oh, see that? Like whenever I go to PAX Unplugged, I either go around to the back to the loading docks and I go in that way because I have a vendor badge, so you can, or I go in there's that front door on the right hand side that's only for vendors, not for attendees.
It locked.
Really? That's wild.
It was ridiculous. Cool. Scott says I sent my little bro to the emergency room with a triple elasticated catapult back in the day.
Nice.
Overshot. Crossbows and catapults forever. Fantastic.
Yeah, bring back lawn darts. I agree. People are too dumb. If we thin out the thin out populace by having people do stupid things, it happens.
Good. But yes. So this is the part of the Warhammer booth. So off to the right was the Hang Out and Paint, the Paint and Take, where they're doing a lot of painting with contrast paints, kind of thing, getting things done fairly quickly. You can see here it says join us for a 20 to 30 minute painting experience.
Nice.
But they had the Terminator. It was all decked out with a Christmas scarf.
It's very jolly.
And Magnus and
what is that thing called? That's the Yanari?
Yenade.
Yeah, the Yenade.
Is that Yenade? Maybe not. I don't know.
That's the Incarn.
The Incarn. Right. There we go. On the banner. On the backside, they had the Skaven Tide.
Nice.
Or they had
I mean, they're obviously making a huge push. I've been to, this is the first PAX Unplugged I've missed. I've been to every one. And the first couple of years, painting and miniatures was not a thing. That was not something that they had. So I love that this year they had the Iron Painter doing stuff, Game Envy doing stuff, Games Workshop was doing stuff.
Yep. Definitely super cool. And much like in recent previous years, there was a pretty big slate of folks running painting classes as well, which is really good. I think I would guess probably 30 classes over the weekend.
Very nice.
Maybe more. But there we go. Just so it says Yinkan. Lucky Duck Games were there.
Nice.
I'm not sure why their little spinner was hung so high, but I had to get a photo of that enormous gap there. But they had a very popular booth. A lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah, they have some fun stuff.
Yeah,
that booth to the left looks really familiar. We have a bunch of their games. The weird standy things.
This one?
Yeah, their booth is it's very clean looking when you see it at a distance. They make a lot of really fun party games and stuff.
Cool. Excellent. Next up, the SCA were there as well. So the Society for Chronic Anachronisms.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, so these guys were having a fight inside this sort of table corral. The referee was here in full armor as well. Very nice.
Good move. That's a good move.
Yeah. But loads of people gathered around. So I'm sure their recruitment went pretty well. Jeff Smith joined us.
Welcome.
Yeah. Scott says, any high-end miniature sellers?
Yes, Games Workshop was there. They probably had, and I believe they had Forge World.
Yes, they did have some Forge World stuff. But give me a list of who you want to know about, Scott, and I'll let you know whether they were there or not. But there were certainly a lot of folks selling either 3D prints or resin minis for role-playing purposes.
Yep.
That
There's another company I know that they almost exclusively just do like RPG minis.
Yep.
I know that they were there. But yeah, I know Mantic was there. I know Catalyst was there. Games Workshop was there. For the big ones,
Weird with that.
Yeah, Weird was there.
Yep.
Was who makes it? Was Corvus Belli there?
No, not. They didn't have a booth. There were a couple of representatives were there. Warsenal weren't there. No.
Okay.
But Alan says the Venn diagram overlap of. He said medical. I'm guessing he meant medieval reenactors.
I like the idea of medical reenactors.
Reenactors. Is that also folks who love to watch like Chicago Med? And
no, they're reenact. It seems, to be honest, medical reenactors seems more dangerous than medieval reenactors.
It does seem more dangerous for sure. He says it's large, at least in Wellington, at least, and then stupid autocorrect. Asking about display style minis. No, not a lot. So there were a couple, but not really probably who you were looking for.
It's definitely growing, but miniatures is not what the show is about. It's about just like Dave said, miniatures is probably the smallest component of all the categories, but I mean they're growing. It's getting there.
Yeah. He says I know a few doctors who can afford.
So there's an overlap there as well. Nice.
Yeah. Excellent. Awesome. The HMGS team were there as well. So running some historical wargaming bits and pieces. Friend of the show, Greg Zuniga, who runs the Hobby University at the HMGS shows, was there on the Sunday doing painting, or basically sitting, very similar sort of setup to me, where he's sort of sitting there doing some painting and talking to people about painting miniatures.
For people who are listening or watching the show later and don't know what that is, I'm assuming that that's the Historical Miniature Gaming Society.
You are absolutely correct. Sorry, thank you very much.
Nailed it.
Yeah. So they had they were probably running 7 or 8 tables, different games at different times, which is definitely cool. The gentleman in the center of the photo here at the end of the table is the games master for this particular game. That's John. I can't remember John's last name at the moment, but he's part of the HMGS Next organization, which does a lot of outreach to schools and other community groups to help teachers get more engagement with history, which is great. Excellent.
Dave, do you have a fan or something going?
I do not. Weird. Just as I had leeches put on me during a medieval medical thing we did. They didn't drink my blood, but they munched on my mate. I felt kind of rejected. Excellent. And Brett Abbott said they got good reviews on Blue Sky. So that's good to know. It was a fantastic table as well. I'm guessing this was a Stalingrad table. Whenever Stalingrad tables, they're always very much that gray and brick red. That looks very cool.
Yeah, this looks like this looks like Stalingrad for Flames of War.
Yeah, definitely the small scale. But yeah, so they were there, which was great. During some business for their 3 conventions during the year. So the next one is Cold Wars, which I think is in March, and Historicon is in July, and Fall In will be in November next year.
Brett, Stalingrad or North Jersey?
Pretty much. You're right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I think that's downtown Camden. I
Yeah.
think.
Nice. Awesome. Actually, speaking of medical reenactment in Camden, I spoke to a paramedic who worked across in Camden, and he was talking about how his sort of he did some miniature painting. He wasn't particularly sort of fussed on it. Well, he liked doing it, but he wasn't very good at it, so he wasn't sure if he was going to sort of continue or not. And I asked him how many miniatures he'd painted, and it was like maybe 10 or 12, that kind of thing. And I said, well, what you need to do is you need to do some more of this or try some of that. And he goes, oh, well, none of the YouTubers that I've watched have, like, talk about that aspect. And so I got
you're like, well, stop watching them.
No, I didn't do that. I said, well, you just understand it from the point of view that they're talking about the unconscious incompetence, the conscious incompetence, conscious competence, unconscious competence, sort of spread of knowledge. And I said, most of the guys you're going to be watching are doing that unconscious competence. They know what they're doing. They don't know that they need to talk about those aspects, though.
Right.
So find those people who are in that conscious competence thing. And he was like, oh, and he had an epiphany about how that would work, how that sort of spread of knowledge, understanding would work for his paramedic work. And I was like, oh, okay, great. But we then went on a fantastic conversation about learning and opportunities,
nice,
and all that sort of thing, which was really
cool.
That's
all like, you know, corporate training 101, the squares of competence. Like that thing is, I used to use that all the time and watch people just be like, whoa, wait, what? And I'm like,
exactly. Yep. Nice. Oh, Jez says I always recommend Sonic Sledgehammer for that stuff. I have not watched anything from Sonic Sledgehammer.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
But on Saturday night, I thought after the hall closed, I thought I'll take a bit of a wander through.
It looks like a bunch of people playing Ticket to Ride.
Yep, there's definitely that going on. But there was sort of, I think, actually this might have been the tournament area, the board game tournament area. So you can see in this is like just a tiny sliver of it, but this area here, the whole bunch of tournament stuff going on, and this is probably if I turned around and took a photo of the other side, it would probably be twice, maybe 3 or 4 times as large. And then moving on a bit further, they had a crokinole area.
Nice.
I don't know if you've ever played crokinole before.
I'm familiar.
Yep. So wonderful dexterity game. Old as dirt. But yeah, so you've got these little tiny pillars or the little tiny nails sort of stuck in the board here, and a hole in the center, and you're trying to get as close to or in the hole with your little tokens. You have to sort of flick across the table and try and knock your opponent's tokens out as well. So yeah, a lot of people having a good time there. You can see more of the board gaming stuff going on. There were quite a few booths that were sort of sprinkled in amongst the board game tournament areas as well, which is pretty crazy.
That's my buddy Derek's store, Battleground.
Yep.
He's up in my neck of the woods. He has 3 stores. He's a suburban store. He has 3 suburban stores.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Derek's a good guy.
Cool. The vendor hall closed at 6 p.m. every evening, and this gaming hall closed at midnight.
Yep. And he deliberately does that so that his store is in the gaming hall.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, Cal says so. It's kind of like bocce ball on a ball.
Very, very much so.
Very much so. Yeah. It's like it's kind of a tiny curling on a round board.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool to see that going on. And then this was about a third of the open gaming area. So you can just imagine like 2 more of this with folks just playing board games, just whatever. Just walk up, grab a spot, sit down and play. Very cool. So that was fun to see all of that going on. Caught up with my buddy Tom Roach. Tom,
And he gifted you a dwarven axe. That's awesome.
he did not, unfortunately.
Oh, I thought he was handing you a dwarven axe.
But so probably 7 or 8 years ago, I can't remember when. Tom wrote the Necronomicon, the Necronomicon themed cookbook.
I own it.
Nice.
Or my wife owns it.
Sure. So he's been writing more books, designing games, that kind of thing since there. So he was there with Red Duke Games, I think, is his company. And this particular one is Axes at Dawn is the game. I don't retain conversations about the specifics of games very well. So I was focused on the design of this.
Dave's like, he was talking about something and then I wandered off.
Well, it wasn't that, but my brain wandered off. But no, this particular one, in the handle of the axe here, there are 2 playmats rolled up, and then in the axe head here, that basically splits apart around there, and you get 2 dice rolling trays, and the cards and dice are kept in there.
Nice.
As well. So it's super cool. He said he gifted me this. No, he said, Dave, do you know any YouTube reviewers, like game reviewers? And I was like, I do actually. So I put him in touch with Lance Hinkle, and he and Lance chatted. So I think Lance walked away with that one, which is great. Just if you grabbed it and hewed him in half, then it's totally yours.
Yeah, that is Axe 101.
Yep, would be definitely. But yeah. Oh, and Josh says good crokinole sets are quite expensive. Yes, they are. Very much so. Awesome. Oh, Axes at Dawn. Is that an Army? Or is that an Army of Darkness reference?
I don't know. I mean, I do love me from Army of Darkness.
But if you talk about the Necronomicon, yeah, that's
yeah.
That's Army of Darkness for sure. Excellent. So Tom was there. Turbo Dork.
Yeah. Our friend Bree and her husband Brian were there helping out at the booth the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And that's Greg. There we had Greg on a few weeks ago. But yeah, they were pretty much swamped the entire time, which is pretty cool to see. I got to say hi to Meredith as well. So that was good. But very cool to see they were doing so well. I think this was the Elderwood Academy. These folks do also some cool woodworking, woodworked.
Oh yeah, like dice boxes and stuff.
Yeah, for RPG accessories, and have the fun little market stall kind of setup. They were busy, which is cool to see. There's a bit of a lull at the Steve Jackson Games booth.
I see Wise Wizard over there too on the other side. They're super nice. They're actually here in Massachusetts.
Okay, cool. What do they do?
They make a bunch of different card games. They have some board games as well, but they're a small board game company. They make Star Frontiers is a big one, and they make oh god, what is it? Hero. I can't think of the name of it. It's like it's almost like Dungeons and Dragons as a card game.
Okay.
So like you buy the deck that corresponds to your hero. So like you could buy the wizard deck, and I buy the hero deck, and Scott buys the cleric deck, and then there's a enemy deck that we flip cards for, and then we flip cards to play against it.
Okay. Interesting.
Hero Realms, I think is what it is.
Okay. Cool. At Steve Jackson Games here, they had a demo game for they had a couple of demo games sort of to the right set up.
They're running like Ogre and Car Wars and
that kind of thing, yeah. So that was neat. Good to see them there.
There he is. So that's that handsome devil in the middle. That's Yeet. And then Chris is the gentleman to the right. And then that's Bug with her green mohawk behind Chris.
Right. Cool. So yeah, catch up with Chris, which was nice. So we had Chris on a month ago, about that.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit longer. Ninth level games. Fun chatting with them. Actually, I think I told you this before the show. Did I mention it during the show? I've forgotten when I said it.
You told me before the show, I think.
Before the show. So it was great. On Saturday morning, I had breakfast in a diner, and on while I was sitting there eating away my Philly cheesesteak omelet, on the right hand side there was a table of 6 folks who were talking about Return to the Dark Tower RPG, which Ninth Level Games make. So I was, this is what they were talking there. And then to my left, there was a couple who were talking about Kobolds Ate My Baby. So,
and Dave was like, I know that guy.
I know that guy. I am totally going to tell him this. And he was like, oh, you must have thought you'd stumbled into some sort of Ninth Level Games cult hideout. I was like, I kind of do feel like that.
There's Ross Thompson, good buddy of ours.
So Ross is the VP of marketing at Talking Mass Games. So we had a chat, good catch up. We had a good chat about San Diego Comic-Con and some things that might be going on there this coming year, which is cool. But also, hopefully, we'll have either Ross or a few folks from Atomic Mass Games on next year to give us a scoop on things like Legion and Shatterpoint and Marvel Crisis Protocol. So I told him that when we have somebody on to talk about Marvel Crisis Protocol, that they have to bring all of the obscure characters that are going to stump me.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so we'll make sure that absolutely happens. Definitely cool. Josh is saying Star Realms.
Yeah, that's the sci-fi one.
Cool. Excellent. But yeah, so it was good to catch up with Ross. Ross spent a lot of time at the sort of hanging out with the tournaments that were going on, Marvel Crisis Protocol, Legion, Shatterpoint, but also doing some business chatting. So it was definitely good. Nice to catch up with him. And then this is how far I got by the end of the show.
Pretty good.
Yep.
Got his shirt done, his cloak done, his undershirt,
jacket,
leather work.
Yep. I got the leather work started.
Yeah, you didn't finish his eyes or the ermine.
Yep.
Or squirrel or whatever that is.
Parrot. Weasel.
Parrot. Okay.
Ocelot.
No. It has protruding ears. That looks like more like a squirrel.
No, it's like a weasel. It's a long body. There we go.
I don't know. He looks ferrety. That's like his tail on the back.
That's much more weaselly.
All right.
I guess maybe I do it as a sable. But yes.
End of slideshow. This is such a cool photo. This is where you look into the darkness of NUE and you sort of ponder your existence. All right, that's enough of that. Let's go on to the next thing.
Exactly. So yeah, then I got to go out to dinner with Nigel Wood.
Oh, nice. I haven't seen Nigel in a minute. I don't think I've seen Nigel in 2 years.
Yep. No, it was great to catch up with him, chat about all the things he's got going on. I think next year we'll probably have Nigel on the show.
Right on.
Talk about some fun stuff he's got going. And then I got to hang out with Heath Alexander, who's a buddy of mine from Nebraska, or he lives in Nebraska. His wife, Becky, is the general manager of two stores out in Omaha.
Nice.
The game shop is the store. But so it was fantastic to catch up with him, and I got to walk back to the train station, catch the train back to Baltimore, and then walk home from the train station in Baltimore. So make sure I got my steps in the entire weekend.
Scott wants to know if nice work on the bus, Dave. When you paint display minis, do you feel the itch to keep doing more in-depth single minis, or can you not wait to get back to larger mini count projects?
I am I don't think I have. I'd probably say neither. It's not like I have an itch. I know that I'm going to go back to the larger mini count projects. I don't have any huge army. I have an army project that I'm working on at the moment. I don't have any completely that have fully lined up yet. So I guess I'm going to be working on that Deathcore Krieg Army when the Deathcore come out. But no, I am just enjoying sort of playing around with this one. I've got to spend a bit of time, I think, talking to some other folks about my particular mini and say what else, what are the things that I need to do. I know what some of them are. There are some that I'm like, there's something else I'm not sure about. So I've got to do a little bit of learning with this. So I'm excited to do that, but I don't know whether there's a strong drive to paint more of them. I guess is the best way.
I get that.
Yeah.
For me, my distraction is always like.
But, sorry.
I was gonna say, for me, my distraction is always I like working on. I like to paint for a purpose, if that makes sense. Like I have a lot of friends that just like to paint, and for me, it's like I'm painting this thing because I want it for this, or I want to get this thing done for Adepticon or whatever. Yep. So my biggest problem is that I like painting like single minis. Like when I do commission work, I'm almost exclusively do either somebody's character or like an HQ piece for an army. Like that's kind of like the last one I did. I told you I did a Brother Captain Stern for a guy. Like I like doing that kind of stuff. But my problem is that if I painted to that level and I focus on one mini, I would never get any of the projects that I need to get done. Because I'd be like, oh yeah, I spent like 4 weeks painting this guy. And I'm like, in that same time, I could have painted like, I don't know, I could have got a big chunk of the army built in that same time. So like,
yeah. I think with this guy, I probably spent about, I don't know, about 3 hours so far on him, which should be about 3 models that I could have painted for my.
Yeah, right. You're already doing the conversion. You're like, well,
I've got 3 Inquisitorial Henchmen I could have painted, but I've already got 3 squads of Inquisitorial Henchmen. I don't need any more. I want.
You could have knocked out. I could have knocked out 3 stands of sludge dudes.
Yeah, well, actually, I have. What have I got left? I've got 5 infantry and then the big guy to do, nice. And that's all my that'll be all my sludge stuff done, which will be really nice. And pretty after I come back from Australia in January, I'll be painting up some more Trench Crusade stuff. So already have plans.
Yeah, I see some stuff on the desk in front of you there.
Yeah. Steven's joined us. Hey, Steven. Welcome. And Scott says, Dave, that was a weird answer. I hated it. Desire and want play no role in Dave's life. Its only purpose and function is spin Dave's gears. The soul should desire things, Dave. I do desire things, but I'm just okay. I'm also okay when I don't get those things that I desire.
Dave is a creature of focus. Dave is a creature of focus and routine. That is what he does.
Yeah, indeed. I think
Scott, I have not painted a mini. Have I painted a mini you don't play with? Yeah, I don't know that I. Okay, I've painted minis that I haven't played with, but I don't think I've ever painted a mini that you couldn't play with. Like, I don't think I would do that.
Yeah, there we go. He says wouldn't do it. I had a conversation with somebody as well about the like mood. Some people talk about, I can't paint because I'm not in the mood.
Yeah.
And I always respond with like, mood is the thing for cattle and love play.
Very nice. And then I activate my shield, and then I come at you with my knife.
Pretty much, yeah.
Remember, Dave, the slow blade penetrates the shield.
I remember that. But yes, no, I've always said that like make your painting a habit, not a chore. A lot of people think if they're painting for wargaming or that kind of thing, it's a chore. I've got to get this done. But if you just make a habit of it, just spend 30 minutes every day doing some painting, then it just becomes there's a mechanical aspect to that, sure. So you can get stuff churned out for gaming, but then when you are in the mood, you can paint something creative. You can allow your soul to flow into the miniature. How's that work?
Dave is a creature of focus, commitment, and sheer will, the Baba Yaga of miniature painting. He once painted 3 Terminators with a pencil. Who does that?
He's not wrong. I'll take that. Thanks, Scott. Impresses it walks me. Explains why it walks without rhythm.
Yeah.
No, that's just because I'm unsteady on my feet. It's a completely different reason, Brett.
Oh man.
It's an inner ear thing.
Lisan Al Gaib.
Yes. It just says don't paint his dog. Fantastic. I love that we've just blended like Dune and John Wick.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Excellent. So yeah, that was PAX Unplugged 2025, my experience at the show. I got to chat to a whole bunch of folks, which was really cool. I got to see the team from Rat Trap Productions, Rich and Drew and Anwar, and my buddy Johnny Newman was down from Buffalo working for them. It was really nice to catch up with him. I mentioned Alex. I saw Justin from Severed Books, who's local here in Baltimore. He organizes Game Face Con at my local brewery. I didn't see him. A bunch of other folks. Unfortunately, I didn't catch up with Andy Chesney with Chip Theory Games. I saw Blake Schroed, which was nice at Mantic. But apparently I missed Ronnie by like 20 minutes. Left like 20 minutes before I...
Yeah, it was Chesney's birthday.
Oh, sorry. Keep talking.
I was just gonna say over the weekend it was Andrew Chesney's birthday, or a couple of days ago was Chesney's birthday, from Chip Theory. Dave is having an issue right now, folks, so hopefully he'll be okay. If we get some miniatures, I don't know if you have anything else to go over. Or you want to look at miniatures from the community?
Sure, we can do that. No, sorry about that. Something happened. I just a dry spot in my throat or something.
Breathed in the wrong way. That's a good one.
Yeah. I hate that. Ooh. Excellent. Yeah, Scott says I need to meet Johnny Newman one day. Only know him on the socials. Yeah, he's a fantastic person. Kelly's here and says, Concrad strikes. I really hope not.
Oh yeah, our Maggie Clayton, who's a good friend of ours, just posted she got strep at PAX.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you mainly get out from kissing people, right? I didn't kiss anybody.
I mean, I didn't ask her how she got it. She just said she got strep throat there. I was like, all right.
After that, yeah. Just that I got the 28 years later virus.
Let's hope not.
Yeah. Well, I'd start twitching and rage at the computer.
Well, no. I think we have to wait 28 years, right, until it kicks in. Is that?
Oh, I'll be gone by then, so that's fine. Oh, good. Yes, let's move on and check out all the cool minis from the BuildPaintPlay Facebook community group. You can check out the link for that in the notes below. Here we go. Oh, boo. All that coughing. I'm gonna press the wrong button.
If you paint without rhythm, it won't attract the worm.
Right. Excellent.
Nice.
Excellent. So yes, Alan Borthwick. Through a couple
little robot medic.
Yep, pretty sweet robot doc there.
I like that.
With a nice bag of plasma up over your shoulder. Very cool. Quite good. And then these guys.
Those are great. That's some serious chest hair. That guy in the middle.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like a superhero logo.
It is, isn't it? Like an eagle kind of thing. No, it looks fantastic. I think Alan said that these are from Crooked Dice.
Okay.
So he's going to be using these. Oh, sorry. The previous one is for his Stargrave.
I said it's a Judge Dredd Medbot. The minis in the Judge Dredd game are great. Same with Slain. The Slain game from Warlord, the minis in that are awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, Slain, the character Slain is fantastic. Just awesome character.
Yeah, I mean, Slain's just great in general, but
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, there we go. Alan says Manic told us so for his for Dracula.
Nice.
Pretty wild. But yeah, these guys look great. Straight out of the Krugs. Really.
Oh yeah.
Very nice. Cal says that's a tribble on his chest.
Yeah, those are tribbles on their head.
Yeah. Excellent. Nice work, Alan. They look great. Amos posted a couple of photos of
this is awesome.
some Blood Bowl gaming. So we've got.
I feel like this is like the back in the trade room at Games Workshop.
Right. This is in the trade room at Flames.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. It's a trade room. It's its own gaming company.
Yep. So yeah, John Matthews, Jeff Smith, Chris. I can't remember Chris's name, and Amos is here. So cool to see you guys playing some games.
That is some serious gaming right there.
Yep. They're Blood Bowl.
Looks like Black Orcs against Chaos.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it looks like Nashrak Black Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, the star player, Minotaur star player. But yeah, so great to see you playing some games, Amos, and also Jeff and John Matthews.
Blood Bowl's fun. Blood Bowl always cracks me up because like the first half always takes way longer than the second half.
Right.
Every single time I play, it's like we learn the rules again in the first half, and then the second half you're like, oh right, okay, and you just whip through the second half every time I play.
John and Jeff are twins that were separated at birth.
Ooh, yeah, maybe.
Perhaps. Nice.
Fraternal twins, obviously.
Yeah. Cal's painted up some Chaos minis here.
Some little demony dudes, pretty cool.
Dudes, yeah. Those great golden horns. Looking cool. And he also painted up this excellent giant.
I like his giant, I guess like petrified pickle. He's like, I'm gonna smash you with this.
I'm expecting it's some sort of large crystal, like a
sure. That makes sense. Also,
ripped from the ceiling. Yep,
it could be a petrified pickle.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, Alan Calvert saying Frostgrave demons. But yeah,
this is his stone giant.
Yeah, I love the not only the sort of breastplate of femurs, but the bracelet of them as well.
Yeah, very nice.
Cool stuff. Yeah, Cal, I love that gray. Looking good. Someone else said he's saying you forgot your big head.
Yeah.
But no, looking good. Nice one, Cal. Chris Gorka. Chris Gorka posted the what's the name of this set?
This is from We Are Brave. This is from Shatterpoint. So it's the queen and then her bodyguards. So it's
Amidala on the left.
Yeah, it's Amidala on the left, and then that's one of her body doubles, her bodyguards, and then there should be 2 more pieces in the set. I don't know if he did the other 2, but
he did.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah. The transitions in this are phenomenal.
Yeah, he did a wonderful job on that. But, beautiful fade there.
Yeah,
super saturated on that yellow as well.
Yeah,
great. Daniel Liu, is that Zulin Liu? Greetings from Taiwan. First time catching live stream, or no? Somebody else. Cool. Because I think Zulin's been on the live stream before, but greetings, welcome. Thanks.
Very cool. Spread the word.
Yep. Yep. Just as the blend in the handmaidens is amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah, this is super cool.
Yep.
I'm assuming Chris did this with an airbrush. I'm assuming he did all the colors on the robes and then did like the guns and the hands and the skin and everything with a brush, but
quite possibly. But beautiful work, regardless, Chris. They look great.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Awesome stuff. Chris Kemig.
Nice.
Doing some more work on his Thanatar.
This thing is so great. You love the gravity hammer right arm.
Yeah. Yep. It's just wild.
Yeah, this thing that thing is such a cool robot. Like I don't play Mechanicus. but because I run Iron Warriors, I can technically add Mechanicus units because I can slave robots and servitors. And I was like, I kind of just want to paint one of these to have it. Like, I just think it looks cool.
Yeah. No. I think the camera angle on this makes it look a little bit shorter than it actually is.
Yeah,
but
it looks really mean. The fact that it's like leaning forward.
Yeah.
It's so broad up the top.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. But yeah, I think Chris has done a great job on that.
I think it's super
Looking
cool.
really nice. Got a little bit more work to do. I think he's going to do some weathering on the decals. Yeah, but yeah, the Payne's gray that he's got going over the black is working really well.
He's got a little bit of heat damage on the last cannon on his shoulder.
Fun.
He's got a little bit of the heat damage on the
Oh
barrel.
yeah. Yep. It's like purples and yellows in there.
That's super cool.
Yeah, looking really nice. Excellent work there, Chris.
Yeah, I like it.
Good. Dan Ciliari.
This thing is super cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. What's it from?
I have no idea. I
Okay.
like this looks like it could be part of a board game, or it could be part of Shadows and Brimstone or something, or but I love the idea it's like Kraken and then like all of its tentacles, so you can like put them on different like pieces.
Yeah. Yep. Moving around.
That's really neat.
I love the way that he painted the eye.
Yeah.
Just looked perfect.
Classic dot too, the little white dots.
Yep. That sheen.
The teeth all look great too.
Yeah, I love these. Just still make sure there's plenty of that sort of the red gums in throughout that all those tiny teeth. But yeah,
I don't know what this is from.
I don't know. I can't remember. I think he did mention it in the post, but yeah. So there's I think there's another photo or two in the Facebook group. So BuildPaintPlay community, go and check it out there. Looking good. Scott says that's got to be a Brimstone mini. Yeah, it looks fantastic.
It is weird that like all the tentacles are coming out of like wood.
Right. Well, I think it's the idea is that
it's grabbing a ship. I think. So.
Yeah. But no, those look great. Alan said, "Reminded anyone of their ex."
Yeah. I read that whole interaction. I was like, "What the hell?"
You're going out with a terrible oceanic horror.
Haven't we all?
Haven't we all? But no, fantastic stuff. Nice work, man.
Cool. I like it.
Welcome. Here we go. So then,
it's gonna be dope. I can't wait to see this.
Well, so yeah, this is the initial stages, the sort of the Zenithal Prime of Lionel Johnson, one of the display
Smashing
days.
a bunch of Night Lords.
The Night Lords, yeah. Well, that Night Lord with the Volkite pistol. It's so defiant. It's like, I know you're gonna kill me, but take this. Frap.
Yeah, he's like silly Night Lord. I'm a Primarch.
Yep.
This Volkite pistol isn't gonna do anything to me.
No. And he's just like, bring it on. But I was very excited that I think last night or this morning, Saloon posted some painted shots.
Oh yeah. I saw some. He had some that are like work in progress kind of thing. But yeah, these look sick.
Yeah, definitely. Even at this work in progress stage, they look awesome.
Yeah, the work on like his tabard, like all the gold and stuff, all the filigree.
Yep.
Like that shoulder pad is phenomenal.
Yep. All the details in here.
Yeah. This is one of the, I think this is one of the few Forge World Primarchs that actually looks really good.
Okay.
There's like, because they have just about, I think, are all of them out now? I think all of them are out.
Yeah, I think so.
There's only a couple that I think are good. A lot of them I'm just like, these aren't particularly great sculpts, but
I think for me, a lot of them are great. Yeah, one or two of them maybe not so much, but I think a lot of them are great. I think this is, yeah, I think you're right. There are two or three that are like a step above.
Yeah, this one's really good.
One of them, yeah, absolutely. And this base, as I said, that great defiance there from that Night Lord. It's awesome. I need his Night Lord's recipe. Jump in the group, Alan, and
Yeah, message him.
for sure. Or ask him in the post so that we can all get the. Yeah, exactly. You can stop there, and everything would be would look fantastic. But I think a little bit more work, some weathering on the corpses there.
Yep. Oh, I'm sure he's going to tone them up a little bit too, because
Yeah.
But no,
I
they're
think,
great.
does he need a backpack as well for the lion?
Yeah, Lion's backpack and cloak aren't there.
Yeah. It is mad, isn't it? And yeah, I wanted to include that pic. There he is. Looking fantastic.
So awesome.
Nice work there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Excellent. Great work. Looking forward to
So
seeing the finished piece. So next season, first episode.
Yeah, we'll show off the
completed work.
But yeah, beautiful work. Nice. Oh, okay. Yes, excellent. It is. Daniel. I thought you'd seen a live stream before. My apologies. But yeah, I'll post the color recipe for the Night Lords when it's finished. That'd be great.
Yeah, I do dig it. Night Lords are always tricky, right? Like we were talking about that last week when, somebody painted the Night Lords kill team.
Yeah, Bing leaves.
But then someone else painted them also, and then Chris Gorka painted them. So there were like 3 different versions of them.
Yeah.
And they were all different colors of blue.
Yeah. Yeah. What's that thing? You can just, how far do you want to take it up?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Beautiful work. Nice one. Then on to Jeff. So
Jeff's Chaos Dwarf Blood Bowl team.
Yep. These guys are awesome. Again, I think that's Nashrak Blackhoof.
Yeah. I always forget that there's the hobgoblins with them.
Right. Yep.
Because you're always like, wait, goblins and dwarves hate one another. I'm like, oh wait, but those are hobgoblins and those are chaos dwarves. So
yeah. Definitely. But no, they look really cool, Jeff. Great work on those.
The weird Churgeon off to the right with his medical saw and his apron.
Yep. The bone saw.
Those are cool.
And I love the coach on the left. Yeah. I think we've got a close up of him coming.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yep. Hank saying
Dead Men Tell No Tales board game expansion.
Right.
Very nice.
But there we go. There's some of the Gas Dwarf linemen, I think. Or is that a mix in there? But yeah, they look really cool. I think this set it's a really nice sort of update of the 90s.
Yeah, I mean they needed it. Everybody loves the guys with the big hats, but they desperately needed an update.
Yeah, and they look good.
Really? and they still have the big hats without being ludicrous.
Sure. Yeah. I always used to joke that the Chaos Dwarfs with the big hats appeared at the same time as gnomes disappeared.
Yep. So there's a gnome under every hat.
Yeah, holding them up. These ones don't look quite big enough to have a gnome under them.
Probably not.
But
parts of a gnome.
Parts of a gnome, yeah, for sure. They could be full of gnome, just not.
Yeah, they're stuff full of gnome.
But yeah, very nice. And it's close up there. Yep.
That Minotaur is awesome.
That is. It is sick. Until this week I hadn't actually seen it and paid attention to it. But I
if I was gonna run Beastmen, I would just buy 3 of this guy and convert him. I think he is so much cooler than the actual Age of Sigmar Minotaurs.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely.
With their weird hoof toes.
Yeah. Yeah. They were kind of wild.
This guy looks great.
He's really good.
He could be. You could paint this guy red, and he could be Darkness from
Legend.
Yeah, Legend.
Right. Yep. Do that. But that coach there with the mechanical tripod.
Interesting. Yeah, his weird spider legs. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, those are awesome. Great work, Jeff.
Yep. Beautiful stuff. Good. Jonathan Palomo.
Very nice. Steampunk dwarves. Who doesn't love that?
Yep. I love them. So Chaos Dwarves to Steampunk Dwarves. This is Barrett Var. Is the color scheme there?
Yeah, the purple and copper scheme is really, really nice.
It is good. Yeah, with that bone kind of look. But yeah, so he said this was the frigate, but I thought this was I think this is the Grundstock gun hauler.
Yeah, that's the Gunstock run hauler.
Right. So
both
yeah,
the frigate and the Ironclad are both substantially bigger.
Yeah, the Ironclad definitely. Do the other two have like two globes or?
They both do. The frigate has like more of a sloped front end, and then the Ironclad has the big dwarf face on the front of the boat.
Yeah,
they're super cool models. When the Ironclad came out, I was like, to Scott's point, that's a model that I was like, I kind of want to buy and paint that. I'm never gonna play this army. I'm like, but I just think that model is so cool. So
yeah,
but I could play with it.
Yeah, for sure. But no, beautiful work there, Jonathan.
Those are great.
Really good. Hopefully, going to bring these along to Adepticon. Bring a whole army of them. They'll look great.
Very nice.
Excellent. And Josh says the glass bits on top. The chef's kiss.
Yeah, very nice.
The glow coming from them.
Yeah, you got to tone those right.
Yeah. Looking good. Josh Potter. Josh said it's Matilda 2. He painted on his live stream on Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving.
Very, cool. Very nice.
Yeah, definitely cool there. And Josh also shared. Oh, actually, he said that in the goggles, the Tank Commander's goggles, he did like a Sky Earth reflection.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So, I want to zoom on the details there, but yeah, definitely looking very good. Nice one, Josh. And Josh also shared these awesome monsters with us.
Very nice. You got a Chimera on the left and a young green dragon on the right.
Yep.
I always like a good Chimera. It's a cool model.
Is that Chimera from WizKids as well?
I believe those are both WizKids. The dragon I know is WizKids. I believe the Chimera is a WizKids model.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, it is. That's the one from the Paint Night set.
Right. Cool. Scott says, I'd like to challenge Jake to paint a non-gaming mini next year. Best way to learn and push stuff is because you don't need to duplicate anything.
Yeah, but then what do I do with it?
You put it on display. In your wonderful, maybe you paint up a Space Marine bust in Blood Angels, and you put it up with your Blood Angels collection of books and.
I guess.
There you go. Have a think about it. You'd have a whole year. It'd be the only thing we'd expect you to paint. But yeah, nice stuff there, Josh. Looking good.
Oh yeah.
Did you get the one of the whole Monster Squad?
Wait. Yes, of course I did. But yes, so this is Dracula. This is a crazy looking. I haven't read the comics with Dracula in them.
So normally when they draw Dracula in the comics, he looks pretty traditional. He has like the tuxedo with the red sash and the black cape with the big collar. Like he's usually pretty traditional looking. This is, I think, in some of the newer stuff for the Creature Commando stuff, they've done him like this, so he looks more like a swordsman or like a warlord.
Right.
Cool. But yeah, it's super cool. Because again, the idea is it's supposed to be Vlad Tepes, who's like a pre-Crusader era or post-Crusader era like knight and noble. He's not supposed to be like from the 1700s. So
sure. But yeah, Kelly's done an awesome job.
Yeah, those are super cool.
Yeah, it looks great. Nice work, Kelly. And as Jake leapt ahead to.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah, we saw the Mummy a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And we saw we saw Frankenstein's monster.
Yep.
And then the werewolf by night. I love the werewolf. The werewolf's just great.
We saw the werewolf last week.
Yeah, super cool.
Yes, there we go. It says they did the mash. The monster mash.
Yeah, super cool.
And
Oh yes, Scott. The where Dracula? Where's my money, you nerd? it's I love that mummy is so cool. I really like that mummy. You could use that in like a Tomb King's army.
you could, yeah. And beautiful work there, Kelly. They look great.
Very cool.
Really good. Nice one. Luis is doing some more work on his Raven Guard.
Yep, super cool.
Luis also has a couple of other posts in the Facebook group this week. One of them was looking at how he approached removing decals, removing a transfer that he'd put on that he didn't like the location, or something went a little bit wrong with it. So, and that was some sort of very detailed modeling kind of information in there. So if you want to go and check that out, cool. But yeah, more work coming along for these awesome looking Raven Guard Phobos Marines.
Jez, you gotta kick him to find out. It's the only way to know.
Yeah, he's wearing those shorts, so it's tough to tell. It's beautiful work there, Luis.
These are great.
Yeah,
the lenses on the Phobos helmet look awesome.
Yeah. But also, thank you very much for sharing that information about the about removing that transfer. As Jess said, yeah, great attention to detail, very much so. Looking great. And Scott painted up this guy for his Mordheim warband that he's getting started on. So this is from the Age of Sigmar.
Cities of Sigmar, yeah.
Cities of Sigmar steel helms.
I think the steel helms are some of the coolest models in that range. They just look super cool.
Yeah, they've got that. There's that wonderful mix of kind of awkward fantasy armor and grungy, downtrodden human.
Yeah, I like it.
Yep, absolutely. But I love the non-metallic metal work that you've done on the shoulder, and particularly the shoulders and the pauldrons and the helmet. It's a really nice glint. And the great thing as well is if you do this on a model and you're consistent with where the lighting is sort of coming from, when you turn the model, because everyone always goes, oh, you need to do non-metallic metal, it only looks good from one angle. It can still look great from multiple angles because it's almost as if the light source is moving as you turn the model.
It does. It still has the big tell for non-metallic, which is
sure.
The guy on the left. If you look at the guy on the left real quick, you're like, oh, it's metallic. And then as soon as you look at the one on the right, you're like, oh, it's non-metallic metallic.
I don't know.
I mean, that was the big tell for me right away, because I was looking at the one on the left, because he didn't post them side by side. He posted them like one over the other.
Yep.
So I had to scroll. So when I looked at the first one, I was like, that's really cool. And I was like, that looks like he did that by hand. And then as soon as I went to the next one, I was like, yep, it's not metallic. Like you can tell by the way that the light, like to your point, yeah, as long as you're consistent, it's harder to tell. But I still think that with non-metallic, you always have a golden angle.
Right.
There's always a golden angle where you're like, oh wow, that like Sanguinius looks like he's all golden and like reflections. And then you turn him a little bit and you're like, oh, he's all tans and yellows.
Okay.
Like you can tell right away. Like Scott's really good at it, and Scott does a wide-handed, almost like weathered look to his metal, which helps a lot. Like in a lot of stuff that Scott does, he does a lot of like kind of like, you know, scrapes and little scratches, and so the metal looks worn. So when you do non-metallic metallic in that way, it looks really, really cool. It's got a great look to it.
Okay.
But again, but no matter how you do it, you're still always going to have that golden angle where it looks exactly how you want it to look.
Mm.
That's all I'll say. Again, it looks phenomenal.
Yeah. I'm not sure I completely agree with you, but yeah. We don't have to argue about it. Cool. But yeah, beautiful work there, Scott. Looks great. Looking forward to seeing the rest of the Mordheim band. Oh, that mini was assembled by Krzysztof Kowalczyk from one of his classes that he just painted up.
Nice.
Always have that going for me. Nice.
These really cool. Yeah, like one of the things I really like about this model is the way that you highlighted the wood panels.
Right.
It's real attention to detail type stuff, but it makes it's that little extra pop where it's like, so the beam is yellow and then there's like little bits of highlight yellow and then like damage and then little bits of stained yellow. It just it looks, it's that extra little bit that makes that model look really, really cool.
Yeah. Nice one. And yeah, it just says, yeah, seeing more of these will be great. Absolutely. Nice work, Scott. Good. Sean Gleason. I saw Sean at PAX. Had chatted a couple of times.
Yipes! What game is this?
This is Malifaux.
Okay.
Malifaux being played at PAX. So Sean played in a tournament that was, I think it was 4 or 5 games, maybe. Maybe 5, yeah. 3 one evening and then 2 the following morning. But there we go. I told him to make sure he posted some photos of some games in action so that you could see
Nice.
a game being played at a real event.
I mean, cool. I'm glad that someone was playing this. That's awesome.
Excellent. But yeah, so Sean had a great time playing. I think he did pretty well as well on most of these games. Yeah, nice one. Thanks, Sean. And then Stephen. So to post that.
Oh yeah, he did the cannonade finally.
Yep, with the wonderful dragon men. Very cool. Discusses Malifaux, that Euripides versus the Dreamer on the first hit. There you go. But these are great, Stephen. Love the
Yeah, he added the cannon. I like it.
that heavy sort of.
He said this is for his. I think he said this is for his Hobgoblin army.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there we go. Railpath and Mortar and Dragon Men.
Nice.
Yeah, looking good. And also, got more dinosaurs.
Very nice. Who doesn't like dinosaurs?
Gotta love them. But yeah, looking really good. I'm loving that green.
Yeah, it's really nice. I like that.
Bright, almost lime green up there. That's great. Oh yeah, there we go. So the Bombard for the Hobgoblin game by Mike Hutchinson.
Nice.
Very cool. Oh, and these are part of a chariot. You're pulling a chariot.
Oh yeah, I saw the other picture.
Nice. I think I might have missed the other one. My apologies, Stephen.
It's so funny. Like again, all these old miniatures. They were like, "How do we make this model be supported?" And it's like, let's have some branches touching his tail.
Keep it all together. But yeah, looking good. And I think that might be it. Is that it? Yep. That's it. That's it for this week. So there we go. Awesome. I think that was a huge, a great collection of really awesome minis.
There's a lot of good stuff in there. I know that Ben just picked up a bunch of minis. He's building, I think they're black shields. He's building a bunch of black shields for his heresy army.
Okay.
He's trying to find he's like all day he's been like ripping up the office trying to find his black shield transfers. So hopefully we find those. But yeah, they look really cool. He took he kit bashed a bunch of stuff, so they look really cool.
Yeah, that's great. I just said, yeah, great, brilliant mix of stuff. Awesome work. Yeah, it's one of the things I really love about going through them all is that there's just that wonderful mix. There's, what do we see? We saw Blood Bowl, we saw Malifaux, we saw crazy 1980s Railpath minis. We saw
board game stuff like brand new boxes from Atomic Mass.
Yep.
Star Wars minis, superheroes. Like, we usually see a pretty good mix.
Yep. Absolutely great. But thank you very much, everybody. That was super cool. Dave Hummel says, thanks for another great season, Dave and Jake. Big thank you to all the great guests. Awesome, outstanding work from everyone. Thanks again to Army Painter. Everyone have a great holiday season.
Thank you guys so much. Again, it's so much fun doing this. Like Dave and I, again, we've said it before. We went into this just being like, hey, if it's just us hanging out talking, great. And it's it's really cool to find out that we have such a great community of like great painters and people that just want to be involved and you know, find out what's going on. And, you know, being able to pull strings and have fun guests on is great. Like for Dave and I, it's usually people that one of us knows or both of us know. So it's like, we just get to hang out and talk to them anyways. Exactly. But it's nice that people also enjoy the content and what we're doing. Yeah, Dave and I will probably do like a between season episode during the holidays, like we always do. At some point, we'll probably throw one together. We'll post about it. Make sure that everybody's sharing this wherever you guys want to share it. You know, post it anywhere. You know, post a comment afterwards. Try to defeat the algorithm, kind of thing. We're doing really good. I think for next season, Dave and I are going to try to do a lot more stuff and have some more guests on. We got to map out our show calendar for next year. Like I know that Dave and I will both be at Adepticon. I'll be
asking if we're going to be at LVO. I won't be at LVO, Jake.
I don't think so. It's possible, but as of right now, it's not on my calendar. But again, who knows? Like literally, Kat and Adam could call us tomorrow and be like, "Hey, could you guys go to LVO?"
Right.
So, like as of right now, no. But yeah, the first one up for me, I think is Gamma, and then. Or is Adepticon first this year? I don't remember. It's one of those two. It's one then the other. It's either Adepticon then Gamma, or it's Gamma then Adepticon.
I think it's Gamma then Adepticon.
Okay, so yeah, that's first up for me, and then we'll obviously both be at San Diego. I think this year I'm going to try to do UK Games Day.
Games Expo. UK
Games Expo. I think I'll be at that, so that should be a good one.
Cool.
I'll probably do Gen Con this year.
Right. But
yeah, we'll map it out. But we'll come back and give you guys an update. It's awesome seeing everybody.
Alan's asking, it says thanks, chaps. When's the next season starting? January 14th will be our first episode, and we'll have Adam from the Army Painter on to talk about the super cool paints from that have been worked with John Blanche on. So excited to talk about that.
Nice.
Excellent. Sorry, Steve said, glad I made it for some of the live episode. Congrats on the season. Just says it's a great Tuesday night for me. Always interesting, often inspiring. Really enjoy it. Thanks very much for staying up so late for us as well, Jez.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, man.
As part of it. He says, like always, an awesome show. Thank you very much. Scott says, I'm at LVO. Let's get drunk.
Well, he's not at LVO now. He means like in a couple of months he'll be at LVO.
Oh, sure, yeah. He could be there now. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, that's right. He's not at LVO though because it's not happening right now.
And, yeah, Dave says live from Australia with about a 15-hour time delay. Nice. Yeah, so that could be a problem for us doing a show. We'll see. And Alan says, I'll be seeing you at Adepticon. Flights got changed, so I have a layover on the Monday in Houston. We'll see you both in Wisconsin. Okay.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like, again, like we've said it before, Adepticon is the best. Like, we get to see so many people there at Adepticon, and it's a really fun show for us because the bulk of what Dave and I are both excited about is miniatures. So the bulk of that show is like miniatures. So it's kind of the sweet spot for us. And then, you know, with knowing all the folks that we know, it's the show that almost everybody tries to get to. So we see a lot of folks that we kind of look forward to seeing. So a huge thanks to the Army Painter. We will hopefully have more news for everybody next year.
We'll see how it goes. Josh is also saying, come by the Army Painter booth at LVO. He'll be there.
Oh, very nice.
Cool. Excellent.
Anything else?
No, I was just going to say, everybody have a fantastic, wonderful, and safe holiday season. I'll be heading to Australia for 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. I leave in 2 weeks. But yeah, so we'll be there for Christmas, New Year's.
Everybody's favorite Death World.
With my mum. Yeah. But yeah, so that'll be a great trip. I think, just after our first show of the season, I'll be going out to Peoria, Illinois for Spray Team, which will be great. Then shortly after that will be the launch of the Kickstarter for 28 Collected, which is the book that I'm working on with the 28 magazine team. So it's going to be all go. Everything's going to be go.
Very nice.
Basically, I'll get to sleep maybe in 2027 is where I think that's going to be. But yeah, awesome. That's it.
Thank you, everybody. Perfect show tonight. Right, 2 hours on the dot. So we will see you all soon. We'll post if we do the between
If we
season
do that,
episode.
do that. We may not.
And we will talk to everybody soon. Have a great holiday season, and we will talk to you soon. And we'll talk to you next year.
Bye.
And as always, do not forget to build, paint, play.
Shut up and sit down.